You know that feeling you have when once you find yourself doing better than the people around you. When you find yourself doing better than your friends, than the people that you grew up with. Why do we feel guilty sometimes? Or is it just me? So, I was born in a different country. I came over here when I was 15. And, I was in high school. And I left my mother, my father, my sisters, everything that I knew, all of my friends back home. I came here alone. And time went on, and I went a long time. The first year I came here, I was in no contact with my family because I didn't even have a phone back then, and I lost contact with all of my friends. But, I miss them, and I know they miss me as well because, I would hear from my mother that, this person asks of you, this person asks of you, and they want to know if they can get in contact with you. But eventually, after a while, I connected with some of them. But then I realized that the dynamic of the relationship has changed. These were my friends, these were the people that we would play football together, go hunt together, we would do things. We shared childhood together, we grew up together, we did all the crazy stuff together. That was my last experience, and that was the memory that I held on to. And I loved them, I loved my people. But it didn't feel like a relationship no more. The memory I had of some of them, it's like those are not the same people. And so much can change within a year. A person can change completely within a year. But, I kept telling myself and I kept trying to hold on to the memories that I have of my friends. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, what happened to you? I mean, I didn't ask them, but it's like, man, I don't know some of these people. And I started telling myself, man, I don't think I would like to even come in contact with my friend again when I see them. And they will ask you something for the first time. Hey man, you're doing better. You're doing better. Things are good for you. And it's just so hard over here. And at one side, you want to tell them hey man, just keep your head locked in. Just stay focused. But at the same time, it's not every time that you say that kind of stuff to people. Sometimes people just want to vent. Sometimes just hear people out. And so you hear them out. And when you have, you help them. Eventually you start realizing that, man, that's what the relationship has become. And you feel like, man, they don't look at you no more like you're a human. They don't really check on you. They talk to you and it's like, hey man, hey, what can you do for me? Hey, I have this issue. Hey, this is happening here. Can you send me some money? Can you help me out? And it's very difficult for you to come to that place where you're like, man, no, this is not the person that I knew. This person is different. We have gone 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and this is not the person. This is not the person I grew up with. And no matter how much you try to hold on to the memories, to recreate or with the hope that we can pick up where we left off, it seems impossible for you to get that person back. Which, in a way, it makes sense, right? Because people change. And people change for the better. But sometimes people also change for the worse. And you start realizing, because I started thinking to myself, there are certain people that I need to let go. And that is very hard. It's almost as if they don't see me as a person. They just see me as somebody who is in a better position than them. And because I am in a better position than them, it's almost like they don't ask me how I'm doing. They just feel like you're in a better position than us, so you're fine. And in a way, it's almost as if they come to you as a savior, and then it's like, man, I just need my friend. I need my friend. Yes, you're my friend. Yes, we grew up together, but I have to let you go. I can't feel guilty in reference to the people around me who seem to be stuck. And in a way, I don't even think it's guilt. Maybe it's a little bit of guilt, but I think also it's a combination of responsibility. Feeling responsible for the people around you. In your journey of you being a tree, you know how a tree is growing and blossoming and having all these fruits, start bearing fruit. But it's like the moment a fruit shows up on your tree, which is you, like these people, they pluck it off and they eat it. The moment there are fruits on your tree, They pluck it off and they pluck it off. And you can end up being at a place, you can end up being in a place for years without nothing to show for it. And it's not because you're not trying, not because you're not doing anything, but because the moment everything that you're doing, the fruits that you were bearing, were never given time to bear more fruit. Because the moment you get this, there are people with their hands stretched and you feel a sense of responsibility. You feel like, I grew up with you. I knew you. So you keep giving, you keep giving. And especially if you're somebody who believes, and maybe you believe, you're religious in a way, right? And you believe, give. And it's like, yes, you have to give, but you also have to be prudent. You have to be wise. And because of the responsibility that you feel in reference to the people that you grew up with, it makes it difficult for you to cut those ties. But it's a responsibility that you must ask yourself if it's your responsibility to carry, and how much should you carry? Whenever somebody asks for something and you give to them, that is not empowering to that person. The person becomes dependent on you, and that is that unhealthy attachment that they become to you. And this will happen even with family. And that's the one that really breaks my heart. Whenever your family asks you for help, you give them and you help them. You become the bad guy the day you decide enough. If you're constantly giving to people when they ask something of you, if you're constantly bailing people out, they will create a dependency on you. And that's why when you stop, the response you get won't be positive response. So many people will never know how to learn faith, how to trust, because they have perfected the art of trusting in the arms of man, in the help that comes from man. How can you be able to trust the divine? How can you be able to trust God? How can we be able to trust God? Learn perseverance when at the sight of any little inconveniences we run to man. Oh, help me, bail me out, help me, bail me out. Our first instinct is always to run to men, not to trust, not to look within, not to look for the bigger picture, saying that, what I'm going through now is probably preparing me for something, and it's important that I go through what I'm going through right now. Once you're able to go through something and you're able to overcome it on your own, it does something to you. You know that everything is possible. You know that no storm, no temptation, nothing that comes your way is going to overcome you. And this is how you get a story to tell. Some people will never be able to say the words, look, I went through that stuff and I'm here. And because I went through that, there's nothing you can tell me about anything. You see, it's in the little storms that happen in life. The little storm that happen in life is that's what prepares us for the bigger storms that might come in life. And now, I'm not saying don't help people. I'm saying just make sure it's help and not a surprise takeover of someone else's life, including your own life. There was a philosopher. You see, I believe it was Immanuel Kant. And this man argued that a human dignity lies in their rational autonomy. And simply put, what he's saying is, what makes you valuable as a human being is your ability to think for yourself and choose your own action. That's what gives us dignity. You matter because you can think and choose. And because everyone can do that, everyone is deserving of respect. That's what I said. So the moment someone helps you, or you help someone in a way that makes the decision for them, fix every obstacle for them, and remove every consequence from them, you're not treating them as somebody who can think and choose for themselves. You're no longer treating them like someone who has autonomy over themselves. And now you're treating them like somebody who is incapable. And yes, your intention is good, but you're undermining their dignity. And from this point of view, overhelping can be like a quiet form or a subtle form of disrespect. See, you can't love somebody too much that you turn them into a houseplant. You can't love somebody too much that you smother them with your love. And when you're constantly helping someone, when you're constantly giving to them, you're constantly getting them unstuck, and you take away their opportunity to learn and grow, you create a dependency trap. Sometimes helping people isn't always about generosity. It can unconsciously create control. It creates attachment and makes you indispensable. And sometimes a relationship that started as genuine and all you were trying to do is help, now the dynamic has changed. Now there is a hierarchy in that relationship where you become the capable giver and the other person is the dependent receiver. And see, this changes the relationship. And this is how sometimes people find themselves in abusive situations. I believe it was Friedrich Nietzsche that he said, struggle is not an enemy to overcome, but an opportunity, a condition for growth. So what he is saying is that struggle is not the enemy. In a way, struggle is the gym for the soul. Once you take away the struggle from a person's life, congratulations. You have just made a delicate NPC who can't handle anything. And this is why most of us are in the condition that we're in. You have to conquer yourself. You have to conquer your mind. You have to transcend beyond all of this hibbly-jibbly that the world be telling us, trying to get us weak and get us dependent. Because a weak mind is a mind liable for control. A weak mind is a mind that can be controlled. Sometimes you have hurt people too much. You've nerfed them. You've nerfed their character. And we are surprised when they will not stand up and do for themselves. We are surprised when they rage quit. We are surprised when the moment we say no, we see a different side of them. And there are people till this day, family, that our relationship has not been the same. Because I decided to remove myself from the equation. Because I feel like I was beginning to take over their life. And the moment that I decide, okay, enough, the moment I decide to make them see that, look, I need, you have to live your life. You have to be able to, not always run. Come to me to show you the way. Come to me to help you. Because it's like I've helped you so much that you don't know what to do if I'm not there. You don't know how to think for yourself. Sometimes we outsource our thoughts to people. Everybody is responsible for their choices. And once you overextend, once you overstretch to someone else's life, you start interfering with their own existential burden, which is their responsibility to choose and act. I read somewhere that we are all condemned to be free. And that's a nice way of saying that you cannot outsource your responsibility to someone else. Because the moment that I start doing everything for you, the moment I start carrying all of your burden, basically you're saying, don't worry about your responsibility. I'm going to carry your existential burden. And it's like, you can't do it. Because now we're all tired. You fill out their job application, you settle all of their quarrels, all of their arguments, you make their phone calls, you fight their battles. Congratulations, you just acquired their life. What you're saying is you trust yourself more than you trust them. Oh, hold on, I will do it. And I'm aware of everything we've been talking about. And so we need to find a middle ground. Because what we don't want to do is offer too little help to people, because now that's neglect. But we also don't want to offer too much help, because now that's disempowering them. We might as well hold their hands. And so a practical way to figure out this or leave this out is you need to have the answers to these questions. And now these are 4 practical ways so you don't help too much or too little. So before you help, the first question you want to ask yourself is, am I solving something for them that they can solve for themselves? If you have a child and the child drops something, like their cup, and they start crying, and you get up to go pick it up for them, you're helping too much. It's something that they can do for themselves. And the second thing you need to ask is, am I preventing a natural consequence that they need to experience? You can't always keep taking away consequences from people. Now, if it's something that will put their life at risk, then help them, because now you're saving a life. The reason that most of us know what fire can do is because we've been burned. You have seen what fire can do. So ask yourself if you are taking away natural consequences, if you're taking away a consequence that they need to experience. And the third question you must ask yourself, it's very important, is would stepping back increase their confidence long term? You get your answer, you know what to do. And the fourth question I ask myself is my help making me feel needed? See, because if your help is making you feel needed, so that means there's a dependency. That means you feel like they can't function without you. That means your help has reduced their own self-agency. My help should not make me feel needed. Now, I'm not talking about like kids. Of course they need your help. We know kids are literally trying to find different ways to delete themselves. But me helping you should never make me feel like you need me. Whether it's you being the dependent receiver or me being the capable giver. In a way, we both form an attachment, an unhealthy attachment. Good help should increase freedom. Now, if you're not trying to grow with me, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, I gotta go. Sometimes we think it's love because that person is doing everything for us, taking care of our obstacles. But the deepest form of love, the deepest form of care is, I believe you're capable. Like, I am here for you now. I'm here. But I'm not going to live your life for you. Thank you guys for watching this. I really appreciate you. And I hope you guys keep doing the best what you have. Love you.